Is there anyone in here on the Evan? I recognize that. And we've gone into hibernation mode through the winter, as you do when you're a big furry beast like me. So, anyway, just wanted to. I think spring is approaching. The days are getting longer, so let's talk about what is Beakerhead. Who here has been to a Beakerhead event or festival or spectacle last fall? So, I think what we want to impress is that this is, a premier North American event. Technology. It is a smash-up of art, science, and engineering. And anyone who's been to it, or you've seen the pictures on Instagram, it is a wonderful spectacle of collaboration between those fields. And started here in Calgary by some prominent members, Jay Ingram, May Moser. So what I want to do is Alberta IoT is going to be a presenter or a collaboration partner with Beakerhead, and we are putting together a volunteer team. The manner of the installation, we're going to keep that a little bit under wraps until we get closer to the event. That's in September, as it was from last year. But the application process means it should be opening up soon. It's time for us to get our ideas solidified and get those applications in. And really just wanted to put a quick video here and show a short promo. This is a promo video they had from a couple years ago, but to get a sense of the evening, the scale, if you were there in the fall in September on the 21st, it is a huge event, party, over 150,000 tickets. They sold out. Princess Island Park was packed, and it is all across the city. Events go out throughout the week, and it just keeps getting bigger since it started. So in terms of what we want to do, Alberta IoT, we want to put together a team, a mix of companies. We want to put together some form of installation or presentation on site that evening that will demonstrate our capabilities as the IoT community. So please reach out to me. We've got some ideas around. We're going to be meeting next Friday night. I'll send out the invitations, but the best way to connect is if you're a member and you sign into our membership board at Alberta IoT, connect with our Slack channel, or come talk to me, drop a card. Either way, we're looking for people who are interested, and we'll put together a team. All right, that's it.
While we're pulling everything over, John, where are you? Going to come up. So IoT North is the trade show that's happening in May, and we're collaborating quite closely with them. So we're just bringing it up your deck, and then you can speak. We're just making sure we have it. So we just want to make sure we have that. Sorry, Edmonton. Okay, can we bring IoT North? Yeah. There we go. Look at it. So,
good morning, everybody. I'm here to give you guys an update on the IoT North Expo, Canada's premier B2B event happening here in Calgary. What is IoT North? So IoT North is a business-to-business trade show and conference. It's hosted downtown at the Calgary Convention Center. Internationally focused event. We're bringing the world here to Calgary. Essentially, we're working with the City of Calgary to position this is a hub of innovation of IoT. We're discussing the needs for Canada's leading industries, so energy, mining, life sciences, transportation, manufacturing. It's essentially a melting pot of innovation and industry to talk, what are you doing in forestry that's applicable in oil and gas? Or what are you doing in health sciences that you can be adopting into mining practices? Our supporters here, TELUS, State, Avnet, are my big partners. Everyone on below here, Alberta IoT, everybody on this image slide is all putting their weight behind this event, so it's really a collaborative effort. Our leadership council, so these 16 smiling faces up here are my guidance, or my team's guidance, including Brenda. It's made of a really diverse group of people, and it's bringing a really interesting dynamic to the direction of this conference and trade show. Here's our floor plan. So essentially it's one really cool ecosystem. We have a big main stage here with really cool presenters, which we'll touch upon in a second, and attached to this is the a big trade show and conference for Business Expo. Currently we have almost 1,000 people signed up, which is unbelievable. This is a launch event. This is brand new, and our marketing is really only kicking in now. So I set my team a target of 3,000 people. As I said, a melting pot of innovation. If you look at the type of businesses already kind of signing up to attend, from cannabis to, RGO Products is an office distributor. They're sending 10 people to the show to understand about delivering you office supplies better. Nutrien, CNRL, Jamin Built Systems, a bunch of people about home building and smart homes. So if you guys do have a business product to sell, there is a lot of customers here from a very wide breadth of industries. My main stage. So this is a rendering, FMAB stuff for us. This is a big, sexy stage. We're having a lot of fun from the event production side with a big kind of triangle stage that juts out into the crowd. Big screens, big presentations. So all these presenters are going to be on this really lavish stage setup. It's going to be really exciting for us. We have over 40 speakers featured. An example of a few. Possibly my favorite is Vicar Myers coming up from the University of Washington. Talk about IoT sensors on bumblebees. He literally puts them to sleep, puts a little sensor on them, and flies them around, collects data at night, and understands where bees go. Daniel Kuchny. I'm over here to talk about autonomous diamond operations globally. Sunny Trin from Avnet. This is a fascinating guy. Yeah. He actually uses IoT sensors to change your race cars from quadriplegic. And I can't remember the race car. But Michael, obviously from Suunto, really thought-provoking.
So, any plans?
Some of the topics you're going to see.
Last week of March.
IoT innovation across top industries. So we have the Canadian military.
Let me just have a look here. I know my kids are like the 23rd to the 27th. That's a week.
Can we please mute? Thank you.
That's a city of Calgary, a Norland network that covers the entire city. The Internet of Me, biometrics. This one's fascinating. So is coming up. Insurance companies forcing people to wear biometrics.
They're going back on the 30th, as far as I know. So.
Some of the
excuse me, can we please mute?
23rd to 27th. At least that's what I have on my calendar. So.
Excuse me, can we please mute?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So a couple of feature zones I think I want to show to you guys. So we have the BDC startup zone. So BDC has actually funded this entire area. So if there's any startup businesses here, please go to the IoT North website and register. It's only $99 to take part in the show. And with that, only 16 companies are involved. Wally Thorson is here. We're doing a pitch competition with Platform Calgary. There's going to be a small cash prize, plus the winner gets put up on the main stage that we saw before to do a 90-second pitch to the entire audience. So please, anybody who knows a startup or is a startup, please go apply. Our one-to-one meeting lounge. Sorry, I just got this rendering yesterday, but one of the cool things we're implementing is in our app, we have a one-to-one meeting app. So when you're at the show, you can reach out and be like, hey, Lane, I'd like to meet you at 11 o'clock on table 2 to talk about. And so you can book a time slot in the zone. This is going to be sponsored by Calgary Economic Development, and this is going to be for you guys to host your B2B conversations and hopefully either pick a supplier or sell your services to a supplier. The Alberta IoT Pavilion. Sorry, it's a little bit fuzzy, but this is also hot off the press. So we're working with Brenda and you guys here to do a really cool pavilion on the show floor. We're going to be putting a lot of attention and love. So if you guys exhibit at trade shows, instead of being alone, you're going to be part of this really cool pavilion. It's just white now, but it'll be very colorful trees. During the opening day receptions, we'll have a bar on site there, so there'll be lots of social gatherings around here. I think we have 4 or 5 members already lined up, but we have spaces for a few more. So my colleague Ash and I will probably be counting you guys again if we haven't once already. Benefits. So if anybody here is an Alberta IoT Association member, you get 20% off the event. If you're not a member, you should sign up for Alberta IoT Association. We're also doing a very special VIP networking event. So if you guys are familiar with states getting a little bit of money for innovation, we just announced opening new campus down at the old Shelter building. So on the upper floor, the night before the show, we're having a very well VIP networking session. So anybody from Alberta IoT can network with the De Beers guys, the Suncorp guys, any of my speakers, all that kind of stuff. If you want to sponsor, please talk to me or my colleague Ash at the back. If you want to register, it is free right now to register, so please do it. Go to iotnorth.com/register.
Good question. There was a note on the short form. The short form.
Sorry.
Go back to the short course.
Short course. So there is the main stage. The short course is down below. We're going to have like an IoT security course. We're working with Avnet to put on a digital transformation course. We're working with state to put on a kind of a people management through digital transformation course. So we have a bunch of our partners putting on little kind of one-day short courses or half-day short courses throughout the event. Those will be released in about 2 weeks' time. So yeah, lots of education. So there you go.
Very much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bring it back in here. Okay, so just to kind of finish up here, obviously we've got quite a bit going on. Our Alberta IoT website has everything on it. We update pretty much weekly, so register for all of our events there. One of the things we are noticing is that we're kind of growing a lot. Membership is at 120, but we have like 800 of these, so we're getting there. You're noticing that people are registering at the door, have event committee intakes now. We're expanding our event committee because we're doing so much. We're also looking at membership and building out our membership committee. So if you're interested in participating, you are a member, please let us know. We have volunteer positions that will help, help us grow, but also get your name out there. Next. That did not work. There. Okay, that's fine. That works. No, it did not. Okay. So, we're going to introduce our speaker, but we just had to say happy birthday to our speaker. We will not make you sing. And now I'm going to introduce you to Kip. I think a number of people have heard about Kip, but Kip has been in high-tech innovation or electronics for about 30 years? More than that? Okay. And is the president and CEO of Four Eyes. And I'll let you come in and start speaking, and then we'll come back to what's going on with Alberta IoT afterwards. And you're going to just flip out?
Here we're open. That's what it is.
Hey guys, how you doing? We have a little bit of what's that gonna do for us?
Oh, okay, you're just going to do that.
Give me a second, guys.
coming out. I really appreciate it. IoT is a pretty central part of my world and always has been, way back when. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about my startup history. I've actually done quite a few startups. And then I'm going to talk to you about my experiences. It's not advice. It's just simply my story, my experiences. I picked out a few highlights. Some of them are pretty interesting. Some of them are kind of crazy. You'll find it. First of all, my biggest failure started when I was just still in school. My good friend Mike Lazaridis asked me to join his startup. And I said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. My mom and dad said I had to finish school. And so I finished school. He did not. For those of you who don't know who Mike is, the founder of BlackBerry. So, I am a failure. I went to Waterloo, and Waterloo was a very interesting school. They encouraged startups way early on. My first company was Fiber, and it was with my wife, and she's been part of my startup story the whole time. We've been married 38 years, so a long time. And we started our first computer company while we were still in school. Kind of a weird story. When we started, we were on co-op. So most of you guys know what co-op is. Co-op here is different than co-op there. Co-op there has got 4 months of school, 4 months of work. 4 months of school, 4 months of work. And so we initially started a company in Ottawa, then right back to Waterloo. We had a pretty big challenge because our company in Ottawa was doing really well. And we had to go back to school. So we actually, as students, interviewed other students, went back to Waterloo, interviewed students and said, hey, you want to come work for us in Ottawa while we go back to school? So students were actually hiring other students so I could continue doing my education while they were doing my startup. So while I was in school. So that was kind of a weird thing to start on. It was very successful. We pretty much got out without any debt because we made money to make a startup while we were in school. So it was a kind of a cool story. It was a cool way to start. We realized we had to learn a lot more about how to go ahead and start a company. And then we started another company called Comlight. Comlight, the reason for the exit is it did not do well. Dynastream Inc. did not do well. I'll tell a little bit of that story right now. Dynastream Inc. was, my brother's a professor at the University of Alberta, and he had developed a computing systems running technology. And so they had an industry liaison office, which meant that any of the technology that was developed in the university had to go through the licensing and get out, so it could be put into and owned by the company that was trying to take it out to market. Their terms, the ILO's terms, industry liaison office terms, were unreasonable, and we came to a breaking point. We had put $250,000 of our own money in to go ahead and develop my brother Tim's technology, and we couldn't come to a commercial terms with the university. And so we said, you know what? Yeah, we just quit. We can't do this. We cannot get this across the line. So those of you who don't know, most universities have got a policy where if technology is developed in the university, there's an extraction fee, a royalty, some sort of a way of the university getting access to some of that technology. There's 2 places that I know of in North America that don't do that. One of them is Waterloo, the other one is Stanford. So they've got a royalty-free way of, if you're a university professor, if you're a master's degree, if you're an undergrad, you get to own the technology that you go ahead and develop while you're in school. So if you go ahead and have a look at Stanford and Silicon Valley, or if you have a look at the Waterloo ecosystem, I think you'll find that that's actually quite a bit substantially ahead of most of the university area-located technology ecosystem, because they've got this, hey, if you want to go out and build it, great, you'll go ahead and you'll do well. So anyway, we then went along and built Dynastream, and along the way, inside of Dynastream, we built AMP. We built Four Eyes after we sold Dynastream and and then now I'm building Four Eyes, and inside of Four Eyes, we've built two separate entities, Hawkeye and Obvious. What I don't show is something we haven't built, which is what we bought. We bought a company called Stack in the meantime, so there's actually several companies inside of this Four Eyes. Okay, it's super important to me. It might not be for you guys, but super important for me is to have, to understand what a product adoption curve is. Crossing the Chasm by Jeffrey Moore. It's a really good read if you're trying to figure out how to start a company and trying to figure out whether you're going in the right direction. It's important to know how to cross the chasm. And for those of you who read it, great. Those of you who haven't, it was really useful to me. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, I think it's a good idea. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about market research because it's kind of weird. You know, when you're going into a brand new product segment, you do market research. It's the right thing to do. Just don't believe a word of it. We were, like I was telling you, we were building a speed and distance pod for runners. Right now, everybody's got a running technology, and it's all your wrist. So it's really easy. Back in the day, 20 years ago, when we started Dynastream, there was no such thing as a runner being able to tell how fast or how far they were going as they were running. So this was revolutionary. Big companies all wanted it. We had Adidas, we had Nike, we had Reebok and Polar, 4 companies. We were still a startup, still in my kitchen, still in Jim's garage, and we had 4 big companies that all wanted to have this technology. So we went out and did the right thing, did a market research, and we went down to Eau Claire, down along the river's edge there, where people are running on a nice day, and said, stopped them, excuse me, do you have a minute? I'd like to give you a short survey of our running. And we said, no, if we're, the long and the short of it is, if we've got a $300 product, would you be interested in knowing how fast and how far you could go in real time? And the result was overwhelmingly yes. 98% of the people would spend $300 on a product, which you can tell by looking at your watch how fast and how far you were going in real time. Because before that, you couldn't. People wanted to have metrics. They wanted to know that information. And, maybe we were a little bit too giddy about the whole thing. Maybe we just weren't that smart. Maybe we didn't do the survey right. But Nike did their own survey. And Nike's survey came up at 94%. So, sure, we didn't do the survey right, or maybe Nike was too pessimistic. It doesn't really matter. So, based on Nike's research and our research, we're going to nail this thing out of the park. We had a look at all the billions of runners out there, and 98 or 94%, who cares what that number is, are all going to go ahead and buy our product. So then we went ahead and we signed a deal in my kitchen, literally in my kitchen, and Nike was our first customer before we had an office. It's kind of a surreal thing because we had a product that was literally about to cross the chasm. Now, here's the cautionary tale. We signed a deal for a multi-year deal, and we all knew we were going to hit out of the park, both Nike and us. Assuming we didn't have any technology problems. We indeed did not have any technology problems, and we sold about 1/4 what we thought the minimum was going to be. You have to have the right product at the right time, at the right place, where there's consumer acceptance of the technology, I believe. We arguably had the strongest, best sport marketing company. Doesn't know Nike, put up your hand. Thought so. And they had their might behind it. And we couldn't sell 1/4 of what we thought the minimum was going to be. It was a shock to all of our systems. Like, it was just crazy. So, do the market research, but definitely put a grain of salt behind it, because it might not be what you think when it comes to brand new product category introduction. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than you think. So, new product categories are hard. It's much easier to fall into what something's already doing, or a slight deviation, a slight twist on what you're doing. From my perspective, they're hard. We started our whole entire company, Four Eyes, based on a heads-up display technology, which we have above us. And the heads-up display technology was going to tell the runner in real time, or the rider, the person riding the bike, or anybody who had access to sensors, it would tell them how fast they were going, what their power was, what their cadence was, any of that sort of stuff. It was all going to be telling that in real time, and it was going to be on your glasses. So the reason the company's called Four Eyes, no surprise there. I got called Four Eyes ever since I've been a little kid, since I wear glasses. And since our first product was flipping onto a pair of glasses, we said, okay, let's have some fun with that. And so we called the company Four Eyes. So here we come into a blue ocean versus red ocean strategy. When you think of red ocean, think of a crowded shark tank and jump in and go for a swim. So turn red because you're going to eat you. There'll be blood all over the place. Blue ocean is no ocean, nobody out there trying to eat you, trying to eat your lunch. And blue ocean for me has always been very appealing, but it's also very difficult, like I just explained with the last little story there. So when you go into blue ocean, we found it really useful, that patent. We've got about 38 patents that we're done, working on, or have got across the line inside our company right now. And we've tried blue ocean on a bunch of different things. Flip-Pod, for example, is blue ocean. And the wireless technology I'll talk about for a minute. Sport Eyes is another one. Obvious is another company we've got. These are all blue ocean technologies, and they're hard, but the rewards on the other side are massive, like they're really big. Just for humor, we got told by our board back in 2002, that Fitbit idea of yours, it wasn't called Fitbit, it's called an activity monitor, is not going to work. And they were right at the time. Because product introduction at the right time is so important. So we had an activity monitor, and we said, let's do a Fitbit thing. It'll wrap on your wrist, wrap on your leg, and we think it'll go really well. And the board said, nah, we don't believe it. And so 8 years later, Fitbit showed up. So we were too early. You all know what a smartwatch is. Probably half of you are wearing one. We came up with a smartwatch concept back in 2002, and we didn't have the confidence because we didn't see anybody else going down that road. So if you're too early in products, it can be a really big challenge. And so I'm not saying, I'm not trying to give you guys advice. I'm just saying, for us, the board gave us advice, and I think it was probably accurate. And we took our own advice and said smartwatches, we were too early for it. So we didn't actually do it. Okay. In my experience, raising money is hard. And I think, first of all, we've always started with our own money. And we always go full-time as soon as possible. If you're trying to do a startup, I believe if you're trying to do a startup while you've got another job and while you're doing other stuff, it's almost impossible to raise money. It's a really big challenge. You have to jump in with both. And it's going to cost you. It's not going to be for free. You aren't going to have to pay. You have to count on significant savings or a significant other to go ahead and help you through this tight time. You're really going to have to learn how to do the pitch. We've had to learn how to do the pitch. We've gotten pretty good at it. And scaling is hard. So getting it from a startup where you get some initial traction, and now trying to go from, we're a $10 million company, and now we're trying to get to 15 million this next year. It's hard work. It really is hard. It's tough to scale. I think there's a lot of money in governments for startups. Not always enough money to help companies to scale up. And so, no fault of the government. They got to do what they got to do. But speaking of the government, I'm not really sure that the Alberta government is doing the right thing for startups right now. They used to have an investment tax credit. And they've also decided to unhappily kill the shred component. And so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson on shred. Really interesting stats. First of all, the government, for anybody who's doing shred work, everybody knows what shred is here? Okay. Anybody who's doing shred work, the government, the Canadian government gives you 30%. And here's a really interesting point. East of Quebec, all the provinces in Quebec, the 30%. We've got 30%. Here in Quebec. And less everybody 10%. One exception, Alberta, will do 0. I don't think they're doing the right thing. That's me personally. That's my opinion. No harm, no fault. The government's got to do what they've got to do. but it's a really interesting fact. East of Quebec, 15, Quebec, 30, west of Quebec, 10, Alberta, a donut. So I'm less excited about that. You know, I think you really have to go and you have to understand what the right value proposition is when you're going ahead and work. I think they have to understand that you're going to have to go with angels to start. That's typically the way it goes. And then after that, you have to go with that. It's just a natural progression. That's what we've learned doing our stuff that way. So far, we are still at the angel side of the business, and we've been around for some time. So we've been pretty successful that way, actually, even though it's hard work. Okay, I'm going to tell you about seizing the opportunity and the technology. And there's a wireless technology we built out of Dynastream. And when we first got to deal with Nike, we said, you know what, you Cochrane guys, you're fantastic, but yeah, you guys can't do this whole project. We're going to break it into 3 parts. We're going to help. So the 3 parts were this. We were going to do the foot pod, which is the part that goes into or on the shoe. The second part is the wireless technology, which is getting the information translated up from the shoe to the watch. And then we're going to go ahead and select the watch company. Now, the watch company was Suunto. Check mark. They built watches before. They had 2 big question marks. Can we find in Cochrane actually go ahead and build foot pods? Hey, how you done? Sorry. Can a third-party wireless tech company, can they go ahead and build the wireless tech? So Nike phones us up. We got this deal. We got the paper signed in very end of January, beginning of February. And then May, they gave us a phone call. And they said, so we have a problem. I said, oh, well, we think we're going to be killing the project. The project is this foot pod thing. And we said, no, it's not a project. Stop with that. Don't talk like that. That's crazy talk. Don't do that. And we said, well, our wireless guys can't come through. They can't do it. So I foolishly said, how about if we become the wireless guys? And they said, so, have you ever built a wireless product? No. Do you have any experience? No. What makes you think you can do it? And I said, well, we have to. It's our livelihood. It's our business. If we don't, you know, we've taken all this money from investors. We are not going to fail. They said, well, if you want to, you can, but it's on your own time. So February, we got the thing signed. May, we got told no, we're cutting the project. And in October, we had to deliver 22,000 units. So, sounds easy to you maybe? For me, it's a pretty big deal. It's pretty hard. So, in May, we started building a wireless company, a wireless technology. We had to find the chips. We had to write the software. We had to go ahead and put it into our foot pod. We had to fly to Japan, tell Seiko, this is how you go ahead and put your chip, our chip, into your watch. And by the way, hurry up and get it done for October. Massive, massive problem in my mind. It was a pretty tall order. So in October, we got the 22,000 units shipped to Nike. I was pretty impressed. I was pretty happy with that. Our team did well. And what we got out of it was we got a wireless technology. And so we didn't just keep it to ourselves. We developed it, got it better, and then said, man, there's a whole lot of demand for enhanced wireless technology because there was no low-power Bluetooth. As a matter of fact, one of the companies that wanted to buy us at the back end was Nokia because Nokia was actually going to erase the name Ant. They were going to rewrite it and call it Bluetooth. So if Nokia would have bought it, everybody in this room would have Ant technology in their phones today. So it's kind of a cool story. Anyway, so we seized the opportunity, and I really believe in seizing the opportunity. So it's kind of cool when you can actually turn a problem into an opportunity, and I really believe in that idea. Okay, building a platform. I really believe in building platforms. Ant was a platform. Obviously it's a platform. Obviously it's like what the companies we're working on now. It's got encryption. It's a platform for embedded devices. It's got encryption built into it. It's got a finder technology. It's got a payment platform. It's got streaming OTA, device management, complete with a base code for iOS and Android apps. And we're going after a large mass market. Basically what it's doing is making it so that you can go ahead and if you're trying to develop something, you put in the platform to start, and it'll get you up and going really quick with all the security, payment platforms, So we really believe in building platforms. So the second company I built was called ComLight, and ComLight sign. And it's like one of these signs that you see up behind me here. And it's each one of those pixels is actually a light bulb, like a 60-watt light bulb. You screw it in, kind of light bulb. Each one of those little lights was a pixel. And so massive, massive sign. And we didn't have the right people on the bus. I'll tell you how bad it was. We had, all of us were engineers. All of us were, worse than that, electrical engineers. So, we all knew how to build a sign. We all knew how to do the electricity. We all knew how to do the wiring for the electricity. We all knew how to do the software to go ahead and drive the sign. So we built the product. Fantastic. Bunch of clowns. Never do this. Bad idea. We then learned that we had to have a place to put it. Shoot. You had to go, you knew nothing about land, easement, putting stuff on buildings, how close or how far you could put it away from a highway. And then we learned that we had to get special government approval so it wouldn't be too distracting for drivers. Like we're learning all this in serial. Built a sign. Oh, okay, where do we put it? Okay, finally got to figure out how to put it on somewhere. Then we tried to turn it on to the government, right over to us. Like, you can't do that. You're distracting our drivers. Oh, shoot. That didn't go well. And then we learned, don't forget, all electrical engineers, we learned that advertising is hard. We were trying to get advertising. And maybe there wasn't enough demand, or maybe we didn't understand how to go ahead and do advertising, how to go ahead and do a recurring revenue model, all that kind of good stuff. And then we learned we needed to have a sales team. So don't get people all the same as you. If you're in marketing, don't get a bunch of marketing guys and try to think you can build a company. My opinion. If you're an electrical engineer, do not just get your best electrical engineering friends to help you build a company. It's not going to work. At least it didn't work for me. Okay. Beware of trolls. So who knows what the word indemnification means? Some of you. Okay, let me help you out. Indemnification means when I sell you a product, if anything goes wrong with the product, legally or otherwise, I get to pay the bill. So, a company came along that had a patent on snowboards, and they put an accelerometer on a snowboard. As you were going down the hill, the snowboard would be fluttering away. And then when you went for a jump, it would stop fluttering. And then when you landed again, it would be a big whack, and it would start fluttering again. And so they were able to determine the time of flight, how long you were in the air. That patent came after our patent, which was when you take your foot off the ground, we measure every little piece of that information before it lands again. And then we go ahead and we measure how far that was, the distance. We didn't care about time of flight. So it was a troll. It was truly just a threat. And the threatening guy, the lawyer, said, so we know, and you know, true story, that this isn't going to hold up in court. Because we know we've got a different patent. But we know, maybe you don't know, is that the judge doesn't know anything about accelerometers. Time of flight, distance traveled. He doesn't know any of that stuff. So he's going to, and we are going to drag you through the mud, and it's going to cost you $2 to $3.5 million. This happened to 4 of our customers. He sued 4 of our customers, and he also sued us. So we were looking at like a $12, $15 million gig to fight it. So we went to all of our customers and said, hey, how about if you guys all get together and we all fight this guy once and for all? And they said, no, actually, those guys aren't our friends, and those guys aren't our friends. Those are our competitors. Those are enemies. We are not going to help. So we had to go ahead and shell out money to all of our customers to help them fight this guy. And we had to settle with this guy. So it cost us millions of dollars to settle. So, golden rule for me, you guys do what you want. Your business, your gig. We will absolutely turn down business if we sign indemnification ever again. They say, thanks for asking, we're too small a company. I'm not doing indemnification. I just don't care. I'll walk away from business before I sign indemnification again. And we've built a very successful business. Again, all of our big customers have asked for indemnification. We say, thanks for asking. I've got a really good story. I tell them this story. They say, oh yeah, okay, I get it. And then they actually will take our product without having indemnification. Now, the kicker to the story, the really funny part, and it is kind of humorous, because first of all, when you get sued, and then you have indemnification, that's a big hassle. It keeps you up night. I sleep all the night, every night. I just don't have any trouble sleeping. This is the first time ever I've had a hard time sleeping. Oh my God, how am I ever going to survive this story? I got 50 families that are working for me, and what am I going to do? And then, when it came to the end of it, we ended up talking to the lawyer, but the big thing we learned is that he wrote a really good patent, and it's a thing called a continuation. Do not do a continuation in part, it resets your date, but if you do a full-up continuation, it's actually a fantastic patent. So he had this patent for snowboards, and he wrote a continuation into his patent saying, yeah, it applies to foot plugs, yeah, it applies to this, yeah, it applies to that. So he had to keep the priority date from way back when. So anyway, we liked his patent technology so much that now at Four Eyes, he is our IT lawyer. The guy who was suing me in the last company is now my IT lawyer. Try and do the math on that one. It takes a little bit of thinking to get to wrap your head around getting that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Dynastream exit experience. We had plenty of interest. 6 companies wanted to buy Dynastream, and oddly enough, it happened every month. Like I don't mean every once in a while. It's like literally every month there was a new company that wanted to buy it for 6 months in a row. And that was really unusual for us or for anybody. I don't know if many people that have had that situation. And I've always been very transparent with our employees. So I actually provided all of our employees, whenever a new company wanted to buy us, I would say, oh, there's a company that wants to buy us. Next month, another company wants to buy us. So about the 3rd month in, one of the guys pipes up and says, okay, who wants to buy us this month? And I said, well, actually, it was next year was over, it wasn't time. And then people just started asking at every monthly meeting. So monthly meetings became a very engaging affair. These all-hands meetings. Like, Kip, who's going to buy us this month? And so for 6 months in a row, we got to talk about the new company that was interested. We had a really interesting way of looking at it. We knew exactly what we wanted. Who knows what an earn-out is when it comes to an exit? Okay, so an earn-out is where somebody says, I'll give you $20 million for the company. Here's 5. And if you meet these other objectives, you get the other 15. And, sometimes it's 10 and 10 or 15 and 5 or whatever it is. But it's an earn-out. You have to earn it out. The challenge is the company that bought you owns the steering wheel. And they go ahead and put you in a ditch or keep you on the superhighway. And we said, no, because we had an earn-out opportunity earlier on in Dynastream. So when anybody wanted to buy us, we had 3 rules. All cash. Don't mess with our people. Don't mess with our customers. A lot of the people that wanted to buy us, they wanted to take us in to take them out. So then don't mess with our customers meant you have to keep those other customers whole, honor their agreements, and if they want to build more product, we have to do that. So for a long time, for the longest time, Garmin, the company that eventually bought us, didn't actually know how many products they bought, how many products Nike bought. They just simply got a roll-up. This is how many products all of your customers bought. So they couldn't actually do any strategic stuff against any of those particular customers. A really, really unusual story from an intellectual property and data gathering of a competitor, but they couldn't actually gather any cohesive information on it. So it's kind of a cool story there. Okay, so 2 companies came down to the end. One was Nokia, like I referred to earlier, and the other was Garmin, which is at their Canadian headquarters in Cochrane now. So that's great for their Nutcap for Alberta, I think. We had a closing, and there was many legal documents, like 12, you know what a banker box is? 12 banker boxes full of legal documents. We had to read all these documents. It cost us 3 months of our lives, literally working 16 hours a day, 7 days. So So if you think a closing is gonna take 2 weeks, you're on drugs. It's not gonna take 2 weeks. It takes a lot of time to go ahead and do a closing. One thing we did, which is really unusual, and all the people that wanted to buy us, they said, do not keep the employees in the loop, and we did anyway. I think it's really important to try and keep the rumor mill down, to try and provide clarity and opportunities for knowledge back and forth between our employees and management. So we kept them in the loop the whole time. So signing of the papers. This is the final slide. It's a 15-page document. There's a document, 15 pages long, with 104 steps to complete the deal. Just steps, 104 steps. Two-part deal, share and IP, great. This is kind of a shocking number, at least it was for me. 2,500 signatures had to be signed on one day by a whole bunch of people. Some were signed in advance. We had to get every last shareholder to sign because of a faulty USA unanimous shareholders agreement. So we had to go and find every last shareholder, and they could have been in Timbuktu. We had to find them, and we had to find them in 2 weeks. So make sure you either have a great USA, don't have a USA, or know where all of your shareholders are at all times. This is painful if you don't. I myself had to sign 1,500 of those 2,500 signatures in one day. I challenge you to enjoy signing 1,500 times in one day with your name. It's ridiculous. And so, when we were there at the closing of the signing of the paperwork, and you can see the document there, like there's a massive boardroom. And it's not just one or two sheets, like this is stacked 5 in each pile. So the admin assistant came up to me and said, so I hope you've got a really short signature, and I hope you are not offended when at the end you can't read your signature. We've done this lots of times, and the signature looks pretty legible at the beginning, but at the end, it's just not the same animal. And so so I did have a short signature, so a short signature, and it still was at the beginning and the end. It was actually pretty legible, so she couldn't give you the fantastic job. Like, who really cares? But it's just, it's a lot of signatures, depending on how you go ahead and do this story. Anyway, that's some of the things I've learned, and that's been my experience doing startups. And I've still got, like I said, 3 active startups right now. We're still growing our community, and Victoria and I are doing this because we love it, because we think it's important to try and build our community. And we think that, although oil and gas is fantastic, great, no harm, no foul, I think there's more to our economy than just being oil and gas, and we're trying to contribute as best we can by providing great value for shareholders, as well as building jobs for our tech people in town. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks for listening.
Do we have any questions for Kip?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you explain that indemnity thing a little bit more?
Sure.
It took on the liability of your customer.
No, indemnification means that if we're offside on a patent, or if we're offside of anything at all, they've got a recourse to go ahead and get, particularly a plastic patent. If we are seen as violating someone else's patent, even if it isn't true, it's true, and therefore you have to take on the ownership, the cost of defending them against that patent. So, when they go after Nike or whoever, Nike would pick an entire defense lawyer, in this case, it's our expensive. They say, here's your bill. This expensive is outrageous expensive. Because you can burn through millions of dollars super quick if you got indemnification. So, you guys can do what you want. For me, I just found the indemnification game. I just say, you know what, we're too small a company, we're a startup. If we get $2-3 million of indemnification, we're up in smoke anyway. What's the insurance handling that lawyer bill yourself? We aren't going to be around then to help.
So basically, you want to try to do something back there, and they said, we want to do that. And at the time, you were like, okay, sure, yeah.
No, we didn't say, okay, sure, we didn't like indemnification, but we also didn't think we were going to get sued.
Yeah.
Get harassed by a troll. That's troll for a reason. I actually will turn away work. I will turn away business, so it's agenda position. I can't afford it. So all the time we were getting, the funniest part of the story, or the craziest part of the story is, when Garmin was coming in and doing their due diligence, it's in the morning, first morning they do a due diligence, and, we have all invested into our big order that came out. We were meeting here, and they were not happy, they were not impressed, they just didn't like that. They said, what the heck did they find in those boxes that we don't know about? They were called anchor boxes, right? We had no idea what was in those boxes. There wasn't anything in the boxes. What happened was, Control, that morning, phoned Garmin up, and gave them a fax or whatever, email, whatever it was, and said, by the way, we're suing you for Dynastream technology reasons. And so, while they were about to try and buy us, they got this phone call and this Control message saying, hey, we're going to sue you because of Dynastream stuff. Yeah, we don't have to do this right now. So it was kind of we had no idea it was really close, and that's why they were so frustrated with us. That's why they the first one.
Yeah, your experience with happening.
Yeah.
Software. They reveal everything to everybody.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
You have patents. You had a patent that for your bot, and then yes, this other patent came along. You got his patent because it's like a different variation.
Yeah.
And then you leverage it against you. So what? Like I've just written all kinds.
Yeah, I've done the opposite. We've, this time in our lives is about when we got sold to Garmin, so we're about the same age for our group. And at that time it was a patent, and now we've got on the order of almost 40. So we're actually doubled down on patents. And the experience we've got is learning that when big companies come to buy you, they value the patent a lot. They find it really valuable. And they all had advice from their patent board. When we had sold this company Dynastream, we had literally 120 ideas that we could not patent and not implement. When Garmin bought us, they put 5 lawyers full-time for a period of time, taking those ideas, writing them into patent and putting them in their patent portfolio. The second thing they did is they were thinking of building products that they were going to do in our non-patent portfolio. So patents are really valuable, and I agree with you. Software patents are hard and non-possible. We do not do software patents, we only do hardware-based patents, because software-based patents is really easy to get around, and in my experience, it's harder to protect.
All along with that. So you don't do a patent.
For software.
That's all software, and you introduce your product to the market, and you're starting to gain traction. And then if Control comes along and says, we have some very broad paths that you're trusting on, and now we're going to make what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that
Focus it.
Because you just said, 3 lawyers, a year for the things, write all this mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, so the original mumbo jumbo is intellectual property, that's what I would call it. I think it's important to have patents like this thing. You still have to be careful with Control, therefore no indemnification. That's my experience. That's what I'm doing my health for. And I don't spend any money on software patents. Yeah. Yeah. The problem with Solar is we actually shut down Dynastream Inc. Going back to slide number 1 here. We shut down Dynastream Inc. because we simply couldn't get a deal across the line with the University of Alberta. And we tried. We tried for 2 years. And they had, at the time, a policy, and it was to me unreasonable. They said we had to have, they needed to have 10% of the retail price of the product. then they go ahead and they sell it to their distributors and their retailers. Retailers typically want to have 50 people. So that means you're at, you know, the whole margin is taken up all the way along. And they said they needed to have 20% retail. It's over $100. But they wanted to have it from me at the bottom of the food chain. So my $10 is still there for cost. My $20 is still there for margin. And now I've got this license I had to pay, which is $10 of retail. Right? But now you have to go ahead and you have to do the math. Because now I'm not going to go ahead and sell it to them for $20. I'm going to sell it to them for $30. That $30, they still have to go ahead and make their margin, which means instead of them making $10, they need $15. Instead, so then the retailers still need their margin, the distributors still need their margin, so now the cost is $140. Oh, now we can put $14 down the bottom. Can't put 10 plus 14. The $100 product turns out to be a $225 product by the time you get done doing this iterative math story. So it didn't work. And we tried telling them that 20 times, 20 different ways of Sunday, and they just wouldn't touch with their story, 10% of retail, final offer. They said, you know what, you guys next, we're done. And then the university, after we quit that company, we actually folded the company entirely. Then we started Dynastream Innovations into the university. Said, you know what, we think we made a pretty good mistake here. We put a different guy on it. Said, what do you need to do with the top line? So he is going to be a shareholder. And they said, what does that mean? I said, well, you got to buy shares. And then you get a piece of the action. And we get founder shares, so very good price. But they had to pay, I don't know, $1,000 for shares, or their portion of the company. And they made, I don't know, $5 million on it. So they did well. But, you know, it's just, you have to be working more in cooperation with the university if they need to have it. My personal point of view is that all universities should be a level that's water to the standards of the systems they've built on their open education, your intellectual property, So I guess that's what the university's trying to get around. I get that this is probably a university-friendly story, and it's probably not a popular opinion, but that's my opinion, not anybody else's. So. Yeah.
For those various ventures, you're spending consistency in areas of your business that you put outside person have in-house, whether it be marketing or development.
Yeah, I've got a very unusual way of building a team, and we like to build it all. We don't actually build it all right? And it costs more for sure, but I believe teams are enormous by mostly internal. When I do a marketing campaign real quick, it's not going to be as fancy or as perfect as somebody else's. Then you can turn all this, and I'm passing all that. Right now, before anybody who's been there, they see that they've got pull up mechanical, pull up RF, pull up manufacturing, all over it. You heard of full stack, we do full stack shop, full stack partner, really unusual. Full stack manufacturing is super unusual. And we do all of our own SAP, we own all our own manufacturing facilities, sorry, it's optimized. And it costs more to start, for sure, but that's what it is. And that's where you use packaging as well.
Last question here.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. You know, and as a matter of fact, I'm an engineer, electrical engineer, and engineers are very black and white, right and wrong. So it's many of our engineers at Dynastream were just destroyed straight up. They just really just so bad. It was out of control. But you have to have a look at the big, I think you have to have a look at the bigger picture. You know what? The benefit you've got to be knowing about how to avoid control, knowing how to write a great test, way higher than you do something more, you know, did I get a good exit out of Dynastream? Yeah.
anything until the coronavirus. True, we had a press release February 12th. We right now have aluminum structural foam, FOAM product that we sell to the construction industry. And we also have a new waste energy facility indoor, a vacuum system, zero carbon footprint, plastic and municipal solid waste in one end, and at the other end comes out methane gas, carbon black, and condensate. And pressure.
All right. So just because maybe not everybody's aware that we run meetings, so we have about 20 or 30 people on camera right now. We also have our Edmonton team running. So as you introduce, if you can just come up here so that they can actually see you.
Can I do mine again?
Mark did catch you. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Came in late, so I suppose I'm recorded. John Rizal, second Rizal Architecture, Engineering, and Interior Design. We actually integrate stuff in the building. It's really what a phase role is. And we're just here to explore and understand what's going on. And I really appreciate the introduction to this.
Anyone else here on that next group of class?
I'm Luke from Garmin Ltd. I'm a China agent. Kip actually presented a very good story about internet technology, but I have some points that I want to discuss with Kip about the software pattern. Because I think, in my opinion, it doesn't matter whether you mentioned it mechanical, software, hardware, or mechanical. It's about a workflow idea. So if you think the software pattern is wrong, then probably don't have a very innovative idea, or your game is not good, properly formed. That's the first thing I want to talk about. And then if you, the other thing is a pattern, getting a pattern. What is whether you can claim you have the ability to say this is my technology. Because what is yours? Yours is nobody else can use it. Right? So if everybody can use it, it's not you. So if you have any questions, just want to discuss about your technology, thank you. I'm very happy to participate.
And Luke is going to be running a technical one on April 2nd on classes, so we'll have that on our website next week. Anyone else in this, please?
My name is Ian Monroe. I own an engineering business called Software Engineering. As you know, with the economy, the engineering side of things is kind of slow, so I've been diversifying on a number of different topics. I spent a number of years on the quality and reliability side. And so reliability has always been a passion of mine. So I've recently hooked up with a company in Ontario, a startup that provides an intelligent plant-based management system. So what we basically do is we can hook up into PLC, SCADA, whatever. We can actually take data from a process and look at actually health of equipment, look at predictive failure of equipment, and just see how the process is actually operating. We'll digitize all the things like pump curves, etc. You can actually overlay the data and actually see where the process is compared to what the design is. Because typically, what happens is, from an engineering perspective, we will put together a suggestion in the data sheet of equipment. It goes to the purchasing guy buys it, and it gets put on the shelf. And nobody actually goes back and actually looks at how is the process actually performing compared to what's actually the original design. So we actually look at that. So you can actually tweak it. So if you're supposed to be operating in this envelope and it's down here, then you have an opportunity to move it up. And if you're above that, you may be stressing the equipment. And
Good.
Thanks.
Next row, and 30 to 45 seconds, just in the interest of time.
And if everybody that wants to introduce, come line up over here, so we can kind of keep it in between, so. Come on over here and line up, and then one at a time, you can filter in.
We promised 30 minutes when I signed up as a member.
Yeah.
20 seconds. David Bear, thanks for having us. I'm a greasy money lender with HSBC by day. Doing some angel investing in the evenings and weekends, part of a couple of groups there, but really just here to learn more about the awesome projects everyone here is working on, and if anybody needs connections or help expanding internationally, I'll be happy to chat. Thank you very much, Mark, Brenda. Yeah.
Good morning, all. I'm Vern Hope. I have one company in the IoT space as well. Wellsite Automation, and the company name kind of says it all. We try to automate basically pumping systems for oil wells, gas wells. We are in the market. It's a bit of a tough market right now, but it was actually quite an interesting spot because the oil companies are really trying to find ways to save money. Good possibility. The other thing I'm into is, in a general sense, I'm an artificial lift guy. I have another company called Evolution Oil Tool, and we're also in a similar space, but real hardware. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Sharon Ho. I run my own IT consulting firm. So basically, I provide cost-effective IT services to various companies of various sizes. I act as in-house IT counsel without the, full year salary. And I usually go into companies and look at what they have, the contracts, the innovations, talk to their team, and understand their business, and provide customized IP services to those companies.
Hi, my name is Richard Rukma. I own a company in the application development side of DX Business Solutions. I've been building applications for 30 years, so it's been a while. But we're focusing mainly on cloud-native applications now to provide dynamic scale, not only to scale out for increased demand, but to scale in and increase your cost effectiveness of that solution, both for AWS and Azure as our expertise. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Monica Cipolla, Eco Consulting. I do a lot of work with Multi-Sensor Scientific. And Multi-Sensor is a tech startup based in Boston. I do it with some stone here. And we're developing a low-cost infrared camera that images methane emissions. And so it detects images and quantifies methane emissions in that well sites as well as gas plants.
Hello, everybody. My name is Trish. I'm the program lead for a government-funded training program called Tech Careers. We are partnered with state to provide software development training to some of the STEM professionals that are displaced due to the economy. We're looking just to gain insight into what the tech industry looks like, as well as see if anybody's looking to partner with us for work experience, or just give us advice on how to move forward. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Adrian, and I'm a director at PwC in the sales practice. So I help companies by ourselves, and we're seeing a lot of uptick in the Alberta technology space. That's why I'm here today. Just wanted to hear more about what's going on in Alberta, and specifically the technology industry. I wanted to hear more from Kip, because I did hear about the Garmin transaction, and I definitely wanted to hear more. So if anyone ever has any questions about the financial aspects of a sale and purchase agreement, please feel free to connect. I'm happy to talk with you about that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Murray Wyville with Accurate Solutions. We deliver ERP software to small and mid-sized growing companies in Western Canada. So we're very proud to work with Four Eyes, in Kip actually. So we're proud to work with Four Eyes and other local Alberta companies. What we see with IoT and other emerging technologies such as AI and machine learning, we see a real opportunity to take technologies like ERP that are traditionally old, and the business processes are often manual. I think a real opportunity to take new technologies to really automate all that kind of stuff. So we're very excited to learn what people are doing around that and how we might deliver real automation solutions to growing companies. Thank you.
Murray, what's your last name?
Quibell. Q-U-I-B-E-L-L. Thank you.
My name's Ralph Fox. I work for Hawkeye, which is one of the companies on Kip's first slide. So what we're trying to do is, what we are doing is building a connected system for monitoring industrial equipment using Bluetooth enabled pods as sort of the starting point. But I can bear witness to what he's saying. We're doing the whole thing ourselves. We do like hardware, firmware, back end, front end. I'm a mobile developer. I do specifically iOS, but we have to do Android and iOS as well. Yeah, so it's a challenging but interesting thing to be working on.
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm the community manager for Lighthouse Labs, which does tech training. The bread and butter is a 12-week web development bootcamp. We take people from a wide variety of backgrounds and get them ready for entry-level developer jobs. And I get to come to fun stuff like this as part of my job and see what's going on in the tech ecosystem. So, very cool.
Jason Swanson, I'm a technology consultant with Launch Code. We specialize in custom software, custom hardware, mobile apps for harnessing big data, electronic workflows, but to accelerate your business, propel it forward faster. They turn to us when they're, usually if you're working on Excel spreadsheets, they come to us. If you're getting tired of the Frankenstein system, that's when they come to us as well. So that's what we kind of play in, and that's Launch Code. All right. Thanks.
I am Tor Hagelin with Timrock, and a geophysicist, oil and gas industry refugee. We specialize in low-frequency monitoring sensor data transmission, and we spend a lot of time trying to find solutions for this small trade. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Phil DeSilva. I'm with the B&B Showroom. We do swag, promotional products. I'm the Chief Swag Advisor. I'm here to help you with the increased member visibility. We have a database of over 900,000 items, so I'm sure I can find something to help you out. Phil DeSilva.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark Ross. I'm the president of Mac Engineering here in Calgary. We started about 14 years ago. We spun out of Colt Engineering from not so long ago, I guess. So we bought by Roy Parsons. We kind of spun out of there and did a mostly automation and electrical that overlapped. I guess 20 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have known then, but in the last few years, I kind of got a slap in the face with IoT and said, wow, we really need to do more of this. So in the last couple of years, my business partner Chris here is kind of in midfield there. He got me interested, and I said, wow, this is really cool stuff. And it's such a natural progression out of industrial automation into the IoT space, so we kind of embraced it. And yeah, I really appreciate this. It's been a great event, and exceeded my expectations. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Harkin. I'm with Stack Data. For those of you who haven't heard of us, who's nobody, Stack Data is based out of Mississauga and started originally as a printer, dot matrix, daisy wheel printer distribution company. Over the years, that's back in the 70s, migrated, developed new technologies, and working with different partners, really strong on the communication side, networking, cellular, optical, love that. And then in the last number of years, become a massive distributor for B&B Electronics and Advantech. So we represent the largest industrial computer manufacturer in the world and the largest panel manufacturer in the world. So I'm here to see if this is worthwhile for Advantech and Stack Data to be involved with, which I think the answer is yes. As well, the IoT North Conference, we're seeing if we should present there, and have a booth there. And the answer to that is yes as well. So thank you for having me.
Hi, my name's Wayne Krishnarik. I'll tell you something about Kip first of all, because I started working with him 28 years ago, and I haven't worked with him since. But 28 years ago, I was a hardware. I'm an electrical engineer like Kip. I was a hardware engineer. He was a software engineer. We were working on one of the first mobile telephone projects in we ended up doing, we're in a hurry to get it done, so we ended up finishing development at the manufacturing plant in China. And we always wanted to go in and see the manufacturing line, and they had a key code on the door, so they keep changing the key code because they wanted to block us from going in. So Kip actually had a video camera. It was one of the first video cameras he brought. We had tons of equipment set up on the bench and wires everywhere. He put the video camera in the middle of all the equipment and put it right on the key code. So they changed the key code. Some new guy would come in and punch in the new key code, and he would put it in like super slow motion. We'd see it go like 2, 6, 9, 1. And they couldn't figure out how we kept getting the codes and getting in there. But anyway, so he's a very creative guy, obviously. But I've been in industry, so I'm an electrical engineer. We started at Novotel a long time ago. I've been in industry the whole time until about a month ago when I joined the National Research Council, the IRAP, Industrial Research Assistance Program, as an industrial technology advisor. We want to see IoT develop. We want to actually grow the industry in Alberta. And we especially want to do that for all the technical people in the next generation and to diversify the economy, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to come up and introduce myself. Moise, I think everybody knows here, has been doing this job. But IRAP has sort of 3 areas where we like to help. We like to help with advisory services. We like to help with networking. And if possible, we like to help with funding. So anyways, thanks very much.
Do we have anybody on the phone that's not new to us?
Take yourself off mute.
No.
For those guys.
Yeah, you're on mute. Okay, I actually think from when I looked at the list, we had everybody regular. So we are done. So now we have the room for about another 45 minutes. You're welcome to meet others in the room, have conversation. And then, like I said, go back to the website to hear about what's coming up next. Lenovo is our speaker next month. We have 2 wonderful gentlemen coming in to talk to you about IoT. So like I said, just check out the website. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, LinkedIn. Okay. All right. Everybody get out your phone. Oh.
What?
And go to your LinkedIn app. So at the bottom of your LinkedIn app, you will see 2 people. It says My Network. Click on it. On the right-hand side of your phone, you'll see a blue person show up with a plus sign. Click on that. It will say Find Nearby. Click on that. And when you do that, and you must be on Bluetooth, you will start finding out all your friends in the